A glimpse of the weather out there now, because talking about the Olympic torch today, it sort of meets Strictly Come Dancing.
Interesting. It's day 35. The torch is on its way from Kendal in Cumbria to Blackpool, where it'll be met by the current Strictly Come Dancing champions Harry Judd and Aliona Vianney and escorted into the ballroom of the Blackpool Tower.
Fiona Trott is in Kendal for the start of today's events for us now. Good morning to you, and it does, yes, look a little bit wet, Fiona.
You bless Christian. Went all shy, didn't he?
Yeah, Fiona's been scaring them, that's what's going on.
We love Christian.
Now then, time is 8:22. Early this week on Breakfast, doctors told us that an increasing number of people are what's called super obese. With people so overweight, they struggle to leave their own homes. In England alone, obesity costs the NHS more than £5 billion a year.
So, experts aren't just warning about a future health crisis, but a financial one as well. Jenny Hill went to Rotherham, once labelled as the UK's fat capital, to see what's being done to tackle the problem. Coming up, the BBC News.
But here on Breakfast, we're talking quantum physics. And
time to get the news where you are this morning. Hello, this is Breakfast with Charlie State and Sally Nugent.
Our main story this morning, the trial of Anders Breivik, the man accused of murdering 77 people in Norway almost a year ago, will come to an end today.
He has admitted...
A British woman has been found guilty of murdering her 2 children in a hotel room in Spain.
Thousands of London's bus drivers are on strike today in a dispute about extra pay during the Olympic Games. 17 bus companies are...
Hundreds of festival goers have been trapped in their cars overnight after flooding caused chaos on the Isle of Wight. At night, 5 Live spoke to some of those trapped in their vehicles. Some of those caught up in the problems on the Isle of Wight.
Now, it could be you, and if it is, please tell us. Euro Millions jackpot ticket worth almost £64 million still hasn't been claimed.
Yes, National Lotteries.
It's not either of us.
No.
Those are our main stories this morning. Now here is what is coming up later in the programme. It's a little tiny bit scary.
Is it?
Yeah, a bit.
My feet are still tapping.
Are
I
they
noticed
from
you
the
were tapping during the Maccabees.
A little bit, yeah.
Someone who's got feet and a head, hasn't he? Cristiano Ronaldo, he can do it with both. They're great players, and they're just legendary players, perhaps one of the best in the world at the moment, the way he scored that header. And what's scary, he's the joint top scorer now, Euro 2012 with 3, but he's hit the post 4 times.
I was going to say, it took him a few goes, didn't it?
Yeah, but...
Now, the Labour leader Ed Miliband is expected to say today that his party got it wrong on immigration when it was in power.
He'll also promise that a Labour government would introduce measures to help British people compete with foreign workers. The Labour MP and former Community Secretary John Denham this morning.
Now, how many physicists does it take to solve the mysteries of the universe? In just a moment, we'll be talking to 2 professors who've had a go at answering that very question. And if anyone can, they can.
Professor Brian Cox and Professor Jeff Forshaw have written a book which aims to make quantum mechanics easy to understand. Here's a look at Brian in Hawaii explaining how heat keeps a planet alive. Brian and Jeff are with us.
Physics at school, it used to make my head hurt. It just used to bounce off my head. I didn't understand it at all, but I have read a bit of your book. And
hold on, how far did you get?
I got
a long way. There.
The middle.
Yeah.
let me find the picture now, and I have to tell you that somebody's written in, Carol, to tell us that yesterday you not only did the weather forecast... Don't go just yet. Did you say 6 winners?
What, you won on every race you were investing in?
Yeah. How much? Next week.
Definitely.
Thanks very much, Carol. So he was the face of Britpop, the force behind the musical project Gorillaz, and now Blur singer Damon Albarn is staging an opera about an Elizabethan alchemist.
Originally an experimental work, he spent the last year refining it with the English National Opera. It's about Dr. Dee, an advisor to Elizabeth I, whose dabbling in the occult destroyed him. The opera opens on Monday, and Tim Moffat joined the star in his rehearsal.
OK, apologies, we've got some problems there, obviously, with our report. Damon Albarn talking about his future and whether Blur will ever play again. So left it out there, didn't he?
Yeah. I think he said they will, definitely.
One music magazine predicted our next guests would own 2012, and although it's not yet halfway through, that's pretty much spot on for the South London band The Maccabees.
Their 3rd album has already had the critics swooning. The summer is packed with festivals, and that's not even touching on the graphic novels and designing album covers for other artists. And they've got a brand new single out too. It's called Went Away. Here it is. Ando and Felix from them.
This weekend, you're going to be playing it to a lot of people. because you're playing at the Radio 1 Festival across the weekend. How do you approach a gig like that? I mean, do you get nervous? Is the excitement of presenting your work to a mass audience like that? How do you feel about it?
I don't know. I don't really one where we were growing up.
I didn't have one either.
Well, there you go. You see, it's special.
I'm still excited about one now. Can I ask you? I sort of hate the way asking artists about other artists, but there are some enormous names on the weekend, the Radio 1 weekend, and areas set aside for certain people. What about you, Orlando? Is there anyone who stands out for you that you
I think both the headliners this weekend.
Thank you
with
very
a gig?
much. Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming
The
in.
Maccabees album, Given to the Wild, is out now. They're playing, of course, this weekend, Radio 1 Hackney Weekend.
Now, ER's Dr. Carter, otherwise known as the actor Noah Wiley, will be here in a few minutes' time.
We'll be speaking to him in just a moment, but first here's a last look at what's happening where you are this morning. Now, he's probably best known as the fresh-faced medic Dr. John Carter in ER, but now Noah Wiley has swapped the world of medicine for sci-fi action as the star of the TV drama Falling Skies.
He's still saving lives. In fact, he's trying to save the whole human race, battling aliens who've invaded the Earth. Let's have a look at the new series. In that clip was any of the bad guys, the aliens.
Right.
Unfortunately, but there are plenty of them.
There are.
Of different shapes and sizes. I was particularly tickled, because I have seen a few of them, by the kind of spider thing.
Yes, we call those.
There's some people left on Earth. And
80% of the population's been killed, the power grid has been eradicated, and
Yeah.
those few survivors who are left are thrown into sort of a 19th century form of existence.
And they muster together.
Yeah.
How is it you're in charge?
The series was hugely successful, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did all right.
You did all right. When it was recommissioned, you got more cash, more gadgets, I expect, and
Yes,
more
they beefed
fantastic.
up the budget considerably, mostly in our we
shoot its head off.
Yes.
I
Well,
like those moments.
Yeah.
When you keep it simple.
That's one of the more surreal moments when you get...
Goals.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs, for example, which you have played previously.
I did, yeah.
And there is a movie going to be made on a bigger scale.
I would give...
How does that work in Hollywood?
There's someone else up for the job as well, by the name of Clooney.
Yeah.
You have other things in common with him, because both of you have been arrested.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Lovely to see you. Thank you
Stay
for
with me
coming
on for
in.
just a moment. Just a reminder for you that Falling Skies Season 2 starts on Tuesday, the 3rd of July, 9 p.m. That's on FX.
And that is just about all we've got time for this morning. Louise will be back tomorrow with John Kay from 6 o'clock.
Interview with Usher, and live in Hackney for Radio 1's big weekend. The Maccabees, of course, are playing tomorrow about 6 o'clock, they said.
Yeah. We're also live at Wimbledon.